Alrighty, doing a little bit of shopping. I don't know, theoretically that should spin on that. Doesn't look like it really wants to. Isn't it funny? Looks like you can tilt it back and forwards, but you can't. Looks like you can spin the, oh yeah, you can spin the base. Pretty hard. Not necessarily easy to do when you got one hand holding the camera, but yeah, we can turn the base. Don't think we can turn that, just hold on a sec. Oh yes, I can turn it up. Yeah. Nice big base to sit on the ground. You probably should be wiping that table off, there's a bit of muck on the table. And a giant clamp with sponge foam to be able to clamp it onto whatever you want to clamp it onto. Not quite, the table's about 3/4 inch thick, doesn't want to clamp on that, that's much thinner. I did actually get the clamp onto that, but that's sort of dirty too. Anyways, magical thing about this, about $11. Will run on AA batteries. Stupid ass battery compartment. The way they've got, it's sort of like 2 layers, and you've got to put batteries into the bottom and then the ones in the top. But as you're getting the ones out of the bottom, you're just about, or even putting the ones in the bottom, you just about bend the bloody springs for the top one. It's all just very stupidly designed. But that's not really why I got it. I did want a cordless one. That one there's cordless. And it's a heap of shit, and within a few minutes it just goes slower and slower and slower. And I know exactly what that is. It means as I turn the switch on, there is actually a short between the batteries that are mounted. Well, you can see on the left and the right there. This is a misting fan, but it's only a $7 heap of shit. And quite frankly, the engine is rubbish in it. And it just gets slower and slower because the engine is probably shorting the batteries out. And I know when you do short batteries out, because I've seen this happen with a light, if you turn the light on and the batteries start shorting, the light goes dimmer and dimmer with AA batteries, or UM3, whatever you want to call them. But this baby is actually running directly off that USB battery I got for nothing after somebody smashed it in the car park in anger because it was flat, and I just picked all the pieces up and back in business recharged it. So yeah, there we go. That's good. It's 3 watts. That's right, 3 watts. So if it doesn't change the speed whether I got it in the 2 amp plug or the 1 amp plug, because it's 1 amp would be 5 watts, but it's only 3 watts, so it's only like 0.75 of a watt, basically, to run this thing. So it's good, especially the real idea was when I was sitting in the car uploading those Wi-Fi videos, it gets bloody hot. You can put the windows down, doesn't really change a thing, or you know, put the windscreen, you know, the reflectives, the silver foil thing, I put all that up, obviously, as I'm sitting in the car to try not to get as hot as, you know, to try and stop it from getting really badly hot, but it still gets hot anyway, even with the window down, and as you're sitting there waiting for videos to upload, I might as well be getting nice and cool, or staying cool, because you're not getting cool, you're just trying to fight the heat. As you remember I was saying the other day, well, literally last night, 55 Fahrenheit, and there we are there. That is quite simply 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside here, never mind what the direct sun is outside, inside here it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And last night it was 55 Fahrenheit. And I had the wood heater going last night. Yeah. Burning the Peruvian peppercorn yet again. I'm sort of getting low on peppercorn, to be honest. Still got a few big bits there, but a bit of luck I probably just burns a few little odds and sods of cypress pine, or just, you know, warm the room up a little bit with these if need be. Hopefully I don't want the nights to be really seriously warm, but I think the cold nights are starting to end, I'll put it like that. It was, when I come back it was saying 55 Fahrenheit / 10 degrees Celsius, but the room seemed to warm up fairly quick, even though it was some ridiculous hour. I think it was about 12:30 I went to bed, so it's not as bad as some of these nights. I end up going to bed at 2:30 AM and shit like that. As you can probably hear the exhaust fans going. It's actually quite alright in here. I've got the bit of plywood with the silver foil on it stuck in the window there, and it's as dark as hell. Never mind how this camera is, it's actually quite dark in here. And I've got the door open there. And yeah. Anyways, I'm glad this goes because it's got a couple of little buff marks on the back. You'll be able to see one there to the right side of the little sort of brown mark to the right side of the USB plug. And a bit of rubbish on the, I thought it would have been a return. Looks like a little bit of water damage on the box or something, but it seems to be running alright, so I've got a feeling it may have actually been the demo model, and that's why it's got a few little marks and bits and pieces on it. Anyway, I think it was $11, $10.95, something like that. This is drying very well, actually. I've decided I might very well just bag this up at the end of the day because I've actually gone and picked a bunch more of that, and you know, it's as hot today as it was forecast to be tomorrow. It was supposed to be cool today. But anyways, more stuff. Actually, I haven't opened this up yet, so with a bit of luck there won't be a brick in here. There you go, cordless grass shear. I was going to get the Ryobi one. They got a Ryobi one that, in all honesty, looks bloody shit. It just looks cheap and tacky as hell. And it comes with a shrubber, which is another way of saying a really, really piss-weak hedge trimmer blade, as well as your actual grass shear blades. That really, really tacky shit-looking one with the so-called shrubber wimpy hedge trimmer thing that looked very poorly made was $129. This Makita one, which as you'll see when I get this off, the blades look like you could just about shear a bloody sheep with it. To be honest, I think you could actually shear a sheep with it. Look at the friggin' size of that. That was $100. The quality level is obviously, aside from a bit of dust, is obviously pretty bloody good. And the little Chinese dude who put the trigger in, I can see his greasy fingerprints on the side of the trigger. That's, yeah. So anyway, I'm yet to even turn this on. And honestly, just looking at the bloomin' quality of the other one versus this one, I'm glad I got this one. Might turn this off anyway. What have we got here? I got some of these. I'll charge these up, as you know. Got to go get the brush cutter too in about an hour or so. It's bloody hot. I might try and use it tomorrow. This in here. You might have noticed there, walking past the cat's thing. That's the other leg of lamb. And I was hoping she'd eat it. But it's a hot day and the bloody flies are getting into it, and trust me, that might be over the fence for Ginger Cat to eat by tomorrow morning at the rate it's going. I didn't really want to keep it in there all. There's a bit of breeze coming through. I didn't want to keep it in there all damn summer. My parents' fridge anyway, but forecast did say it'd be cool. Anyway. Yeah, that bottom one is just fixed, the black one, and you've got two silver ones. Two levels of them there. Yeah. So with a bit of luck I can do the big clumps of grass with this thing, and that's the general idea. Geez, our battery's looking a bit scratched up in its old age. Let's just give it a quick run through here. This is for real fussy bastards, basically. Ah, beauty. That is good. That's good. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, more breeze that I'm trying to get to. As you can see there, that worked like a dream. That's exactly what I need to do. Just to be able to cut these big clump bits that are known as Phalaris, P-H-A-L-I-R-I-S or something, or I-L-I-R-I-S. It's a common type of grass around here. In fact, there's actually companies that... You probably haven't heard of this if you're not really out in farming areas, but they actually sell pasture seeds, which is another way of saying the grass in your paddock. If you don't have enough of a particular kind of grass in your paddock, they specialise in grass seeds to get you the exact right mix that you want of this type of grass, that type of grass, clover. And it's often known that people, buy clover seeds, but these guys will do grasses, including that Phalaris grass. And different areas tend to have different strains, but they will give you a fantastic strain, along with a bit of ryegrass and a bit of clover and blah blah blah. And you got a climate type, you got a soil type. They'll recommend what one you should use, rainfall amounts. It's quite intriguing. Grass ain't just grass when you're a sheep farmer, or should I put it this way, when you're a serious sheep farmer. Anyway, this is bloody shockingly hot. I don't know if I'll be quite... I was hoping to go and get the brush cutter, and I can, and I don't know how much I want to be out in this heat, so I might get it and then just wait till the sun goes down and then give it a good blast, which would probably be the best idea. Anyways, in the meantime, that seems to be working a treat, so might wait till the sun goes down and have a go with that too. But yeah. Gonna have to replace the Tyrodin on my car too. It's turning to crap pretty fast, so gonna have to do that at some point and get a wheel alignment. I need to put bricks and stuff in the potholes in the driveway and fill it up with concrete as well. Driveway's a friggin' mess. It's just what happens. You don't bother dealing with it in the winter because it just keeps getting worse and worse. As you have a lot of rain, it's only when it stops raining that you go and have a go at fixing the holes up, because otherwise you're just wasting your time, and they just get worse as winter goes on, and then when it all dries out they sort of steam reasonably the same, so that's the time when you fill it up. But the way I'm going, give it another 15 years and that whole driveway will essentially be concrete, and you mightn't see it and you mightn't notice it, but I would have filled that many bloody potholes that there'd be barely anything that wasn't just concrete from a previously filled pothole. if I actually wanted to concrete the driveway per se properly, professionally, oh, you know, you're only looking about $150,000, so it's better just to keep filling the holes with concrete, and eventually you'll have a concrete driveway. Anyway, I've got to try and cool off here. I've got a bunch of drinks in the car. I probably should be throwing in the fridge. Flies are going mad, but that's mainly because of the meat there. It shits me. I was hoping it was going to be cool so that it'd stay good for a few days and she'd actually get a chance to eat it, but she didn't eat the last one. I really question how much she's likely to eat this one. All the bugs in here again, the flies and stuff. You know, flies actually go looking for shade. Deliberately go looking for shade. Often enough. And you think of how small they are, it must be very easy, well, you'd assume, for them to dehydrate, but then again, I could be wrong. I do tend to notice that they like to hang around cool areas. It's so strange, this. See that giant guy there? That's a blowfly. That's the flies that are specifically Australian, and they're as slow and dumb as shit. And there's another one there. They are so unbelievably slow, you can almost guaranteed swat them. Just keep breeding regardless. It's funny, the flowers come out and it's just flies going for the flowers. Anyway, my sister's got one of these in the lounge room near the wood heater she's got. You might realise if you read closely that it's not exactly the best brand in the world. If the body is on fire, the human body with fire blanket. Down to the ground, the rolling until the fire go out and seek medical help. Having said that, it's made by a place that makes fiberglass, and basically it's fiberglass mat, as it seems that most fire blankets are. For a lousy $10, it's probably worth having it anyway, even if I don't use it for my vehicle. Reminds me the other day when I was going to work and I saw somebody whose engine had obviously just completely shit itself altogether because there's so much smoke pouring out the back that I thought the car was on fire. And I was literally, if I wasn't late for work, well, not late, but you know, if it wasn't so close to the time I had to be at work, I would have actually stopped and hopped out with a fire extinguisher until I realised that no, it was just coming out of his exhaust. But anyway, it's always good to have safety items like this. So I'm going to put that in my car along with a fire extinguisher that I already have that is in the magazine pouch behind the driver's seat. That would be another fire extinguisher there. And I'm not too certain, but I may still have that one sitting out next to where the, what's his name was? Wood hot water system. And I have one in with the generator as well. And of course, you guys probably occasionally notice you notice things that you see, but probably sometimes notice this big baby, and this is bloody big. That's me knee down there, so it's slightly taller than me knee. That's the one I have for the wood hot water system, because one thing that I notice all those courageous preppers rarely have, not always, I'm not saying they don't always have it, some of them do, but very few do actually have fire extinguishing equipment to any reasonable level. Now, I'm not a prepper, but one thing I will say is, it surprises me how many people have 6 months worth of food and not a single bloody fire extinguisher. You know, and the more likely occurrings, people's houses burn down all the time. I haven't seen a complete societal collapse that's gone on for more than 6 months outside of places like Venezuela and Zimbabwe. So I think it's rather more practical to have a fire extinguisher, because fires are more likely than complete economic collapse, because I do see fires in this country. Anyways, it's just some little safety prepper tip that I often like to push, is the idea of fire equipment. Having said that, someday, one day when I already have a fence around this house and blah blah blah, I'll get a big bloomin' 2-inch water line under the ground around this place, and we'll set up that firefighting pump to run out of me plastic tank. It may sound nuts, but the plastic tank only fails when it actually melts, and hopefully, if there's any fire coming, it's most likely, in this case, to actually come from vehicles that occasionally have real issues on the road, and you know, the hope being that you get the fire out before it hits the water tank. Anyway, needless to say, most ones that are fire brigade water tanks are steel or concrete, and concrete's not really an option for this moving soil. Anyways, it's just something I thought I'd show you that I got as well. Oh, breeze is sort of coming and going, which is good, because I'm out here, quite honestly, in my underpants and rubber boots, and no shirt, because honestly you wouldn't want a flaming shirt on. Been given this little cordless hooglamagoo a go. Surprisingly worthwhile. These are whole clumps. You might have just seen, well, probably just in the video before, these are up here. Trim it off quite nicely. That's about the height I'd trimmed it to the previous year, but you can actually go through and bring it down about 2 inches tall, to the point that there's almost dirt sitting there. So yeah, I think I'm going to blunt my blades, but yes, you can bring it to 2 inches tall, but there's a lot of dirt through there, so I don't really want to do that. But I've just done that as an experiment to see if I can bring it down basically to a solid little stump, and you can. But that'll be good enough for now, like this. Bada bing. There we go, all the battery box is clear. I've still got to run in the front here, get them out of the front of where the box is there, at the front of the solar panels there. Gave this a bit of a gentle nibble around here. You sort of got to be careful because of the cables. 240 volt line, straight 12 volt. Yeah, so I'll probably shift the old batteries here, and might have a go with a little line trimmer just through here, facing that way or facing back in towards the house. But that's it there. But yeah, it's like, look at this, come up well, you know. Just a couple little stragglers here and there that I probably should just play with a line trimmer. Pull out a few individual strands that are getting too close to the battery by hand, and I think we have avoided getting the brush cutter over here. Poor Dad, I got him to change the flaming head over and fill it up with fuel and all this stuff, and now I don't even need it. You can sort of creep along the front here with a line trimmer like I did on this side, and just sort of nip the grass, so you more or less clear the fence as well of smaller grass. This stuff here, that's reasonably easy to get through. That's your heavier phalaris out there. I should show you the heads on these. That's some other thing, not 100% sure, but cut it all down and throw it over the fence now. But basically, That is Phalaris, very consistent sized thing, comes in big clumps. And then you've got wild oats, which these are actually edible. Now they'll come down quite easily because they're individual stalks basically, but the Phalaris will be in a big clump. There's a bit of sow thistle. As I said, there's another one that sort of looks like Phalaris but isn't Phalaris that I showed you first of all there. That stuff. You get this other very common grass seed. The cat comes in, these stick in your socks all the time. The cat comes in with them in a fur and everything. And then you got this stuff here which is very, very weak stuff. And that gets destroyed with a line trimmer straight away. But I clipped some of that in the process of trying to go through here. Now that's all this gear here. A lot of it's only very small. Oh, actually, this is a different one again, which is a small grass. So, yeah. Anyway, there's the lemon-scented verbenas. Bit sort of drab on it, to be honest. A bit of variegated thistle stealing their water. Very loose potting mix there. Anyway, just doing turf and all this over the fence here. I better go back inside and try and avoid the sun for a little bit and have a drink again and yeah, come back out and continue on.